Welcome to Proudly Said, bold voices and real stories. I'm John Hyland, Scouse, queer, and still trying to make sense of it all. This space is for the stuff we don't always say out loud, but probably should. Let's get into it. The amount of times that I've been in this location and I still managed to get lost. This place is a maze, but it's fabulous. I am in a dance studio in Liverpool because my next guest, you're a bit of an institution when it comes to culture in Liverpool, really, Mr. Darren Suarez.
An institution.
Yeah.
A mental institution.
You said it, not me.
You thought it.
Dancer, dance performer, same thing. Producer, director, anything to do with like that cultural, artistic world. I think you've been there, done that. Do you agree?
Almost.
Almost.
I've still got a bucket list. I'm not that old. My God.
That's not what I was insinuating. I was expecting how successful you've been at such a young age.
Okay, keep going. Give me that shovel.
Dig that. How are you?
I'm good. It's the calm before the storm at my life at the moment.
Yeah, as we're recording, it's literally like just before 2025's Vogue Ball. And I know that's like one of the most busiest times of the year, plus the start of the academic year because you are a tutor here at Liverpool.
Yeah, and we've got another couple of projects as well. I work over the past couple of years. I've been working quite closely with Liverpool One. So at the end of September, we've got a nice little camp moment weekend going on in Liverpool One, which I can't tell anyone about.
And by the time this goes out, it'll have happened. So
actually, yeah. They were amazing.
They were, yeah. We're going to project to the future and be like, yeah, that was boss. We've known each other a very long time.
6 months.
Fuck off. It's like 10, 13, 14 years or something.
It's about
silly.
14, 15 years,
Is it
actually.
something like that? See, I'd think back and think it's gone.
Remind me
like
how
that.
we met, because I think you've got a memory like an elephant.
So I think we kind of already knew of each other, but our proper introduction was through Gordon. So I knew Gordon because we both worked at Hollyoaks.
Hollyoaks, that was it.
And then he was like, you wanted some like video content, and I was kind of like getting into that from a freelance perspective. As Gordon was like, I know a guy, and that's how we knew of each other.
I never let you go after that, did I?
Yeah, I'm happy to still be here.
Yeah, one of my feral daughters. No, I'm joking.
I fucking wish I was feral, mate. Jesus. But I think from that moment onwards, like I fell in love with what you do, what you bring to this city, and I think you are a bit of a staple when it comes to culture, both for the city, but also within the gay community, the queer community. So let's go back there. What was like your introduction to like Liverpool?
Feels like I've just gone into black and white movies.
You said it, not me.
Okay, so I broke the law and came out at the age of 15. 1988, I think. I came out by accident. I was with my mates from school, and back in the day in the 80s, it was very punk. It was very, it was new romantics, everything else. But there was a shop called Probe and Extremes, which the older generation will remember, and they used to sell Rush in there.
Okay.
Which in our queer minds is called poppers.
Poppers.
And at school, we used to just take it for a rush, like a buzz. Anyway, we went to the shop, we went to Extremes, it was closed, and we were like, where can we go? And one of the lads were like, well, there's a gay bar around the corner, they sell it. I was like, oh, okay. So 3 of us go into this pub, and I remember the pub, it was Paco's.
Right, okay. And so just so people are aware, where would Paco's have been?
Paco's would have been next to Navy Bar now, and it's now a beauty salon.
Okay,
so you go up the stairs and you go down the stairs. It was a dive.
Almost.
But I distinctly remember walking in one Saturday afternoon, having to go downstairs into this pit, and there was an old lady there who I later found out her name was Monica.
Okay.
That's my mother's name. And I went in for I asked for a bottle of Rush, and she looked me up and down. She served me, and then I left. And then my mates were like, that lad was checking your ass out. And I'm like, hey, what? You know, all going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was back there that night. Literally, literally went back out and went to Paco's, got a beer. Don't know how the hell I got served because I was really young looking when I was
like proper baby face.
Yeah. And then I found myself around into the Curzon. So anyway, So the Curzon was open back then, which is another pub, which is at the back of Mansion. And then Jodie's was open then as well. Casing was only pretty small. Masquerade or nothing like that was not even to be heard of. The Masquerade bar was somewhere else.
Yeah, it was originally like over by Seal Streetways, wasn't it? Somewhere near there.
And I didn't know any. The only places I know over there were Macmillan's, Scruples, and there was another one as well. I can't remember. Anyway,
Sadie's.
That was it. So comes out, petrified, nervous, excited, and it's me going out having a drink, sitting there chilling. I bought myself a bottle of poppers, sitting there just buzzing.
Noticing a theme, yeah.
Say again.
Noticing a theme. I just want my poppers.
I want my poppers. Anyway, so as the night went on, in about 1989 it was. So it must have been late 88, and in 89, I was in the Curzon and I remember seeing these 3-4 people dancing and throwing their arms around, but like controlled. They look like ninjas to me. They look like ballerinas meets ninja. Yeah, it was just hot. It was great
to watch. Yeah.
So I was intrigued watching it, and then I started hanging out with them, started chatting to them, and I became friends with them. And you are what you hang with. So I'll start to pick up some moves. I was practicing. I was going home, and then so I'd go out, practice in the cathedral grounds, and then go to school.
The cathedral that you can see behind us.
The cathedral behind there. Yeah.
And then go to school.
And then go to school. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I wouldn't go to sleep. I'd be like right through.
This is like when people think about like, coming of age stories from the 80s, 90s, like that's what you're describing. What you see on film and TV. That literally is.
So the clubs were shut at 2:00. We would go over to the cathedrals. We'd practice more voguing. I would have to be back by my mother's in Norris Green to open a shop with a little old lady at 6, get the papers in for her. Then at 7:30, I'd leave. I'd have to go to school and I'd do it all again.
How did you function?
Hell, God knows. God knows. It's one that I'm still here, if I'm honest. There was a lot of debauched evenings, shall we say. Anyway, by the by, that was my introduction to the gay scene. Jumping forward, fell in love with voguing. It inspired me and gave me the confidence to turn into a human being that I felt confident to start approaching new things, including dance. And then
so Vogue was your introduction to the world of dance. It wasn't something you were already doing that then you got into Vogue afterwards.
Yeah, I've never done dance before in my life, and I didn't even want to. I wasn't really that big on dancing. Do you know what I mean? I used to do martial arts instead. It's like a bit of a scala. What the hell?
It all comes together. We talk about like ninjas and stuff. It all makes sense.
Well, do you know? Yeah, do you see what I'm saying? So if you've done karate, you know that there's like you got kumite. And you've also got the kata. And it reminded me of kata because a kata is like a very placed, articulated movement. And some of them would vogue like that. And it was great. Anyway, so moving forward, I started to get this confidence that I wanted to get involved with more stuff creatively. And then I went for an audition for M People in Manchester.
Wow.
Sorry, I missed out that I got a job in '94 with the Royal Insurance. I used to be in the insurance company.
Can't visualize that.
I know. With a headset. I had a headset. Yeah, completely in headset. Anyway, I literally went for this audition in Manchester with my shirt and tie on. I literally got off at lunch, bombed it for the train, barely made it. Got to Manchester.
That's a choice.
Rocked up. This choreographer, arrogant choreographer, not mentioning names, he ended up being my best friend anyway, come up to me and was like, cool, take the tie off. And it was my first ever audition, and it was one of those auditions that actually scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Where you'll learn the routine.
Forget it.
No. We don't do it here. When I've auditioned people, I've never done what happened to us that day.
Okay.
So literally you will audition, and as soon as you stop, he'd walk around, and if he tapped you, you just left the room.
Wow, cut.
Yeah. So imagine me in this blue shirt, covered in sweat, like trembling, going, "Oh fuck, what the?" Anyway, I got in, which was really great.
Yeah.
And then I became part of like this dance crew, Done quite a lot of work with them, worked with Adidas with them, Miss England, just done
A lot.
a lot. Like, loved it. And it also enabled me to sort of go, right, okay, this is who I want to be for the next few years. Do you know what I mean? So my mentor, who was the choreographer of the audition, he turned around to me and said, Darren, if you want to pursue this, you're going to have to train professionally.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So I auditioned for the arts college
Yes.
across the road. I got in. I literally was there for 3 months because I got an unconditional offer here.
Right. Okay.
So one of my friends turned around and said, why are you auditioning here? You should be auditioning for Lipper. I was like, I don't even know what ballet is. Never done ballet in my life. And I was 26 years of age. I was like, what the?
Darren was a mature student.
Literally. Anyway.
To those listening, I just got the dirtiest look ever.
Anyway, so what happened? So I came to Lipper, and I'm not going to advocate in the right way here, but it wasn't the course for me.
Right. Okay.
I lasted here not even a term.
Wow.
I just wasn't getting the training that they provide now. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not just saying that because I teach here, but it's
like what? It's 20, 30 years ago. So it's drastically different.
It's drastically evolved, and the program we've got here is incredible. But back then, it was still finding its feet, literally.
Yeah.
So I was looking at friends of mine who were at Northern Contemporary, and I seen their performances, and I was like, I need to go there. So I ended up training at Northern Contemporary, did my 3 years training there. And then I feel like I've blinked. So I graduated in 2004 at the age of 30, and then became a soloist and choreographer for BBC Philharmonic Orchestra.
Wow.
Worked
straight out of...
Yeah.
Well done.
So I got that gig, and also I was working with a South Asian contemporary dance company as well, with Bashaka.
How different though?
I know. But that's what Northern Contemporary did. It diversified your level of training to understand different styles.
Yeah.
And plus, I was a sponge and I wanted to learn loads of new stuff and whatever.
I think when you in that mindset of this is what I want to do, you do just take on everything.
But I think when you graduate, and also at whatever age, if you're still hungry, you want everything on your CV, everything. So anyway, did a fantastic stint with the BBC Philharmonic, and then became a commercial dancer as well as a contemporary dancer. Done programs like BBC, CD UK, Top of the Pops, Adidas, Stella McCartney, Sky Sports, Sky Arts, everything.
Yeah, you name it, Darren's done it.
Literally, and I've loved every bit. Even to today, I'm working with those brands and stuff, and I feel very fortunate that I'm still able to do that.
Still doing it,
Still doing it, but not as a performer, but more about taking people who are inspiring dancers around the city and artists.
Yeah, and I think that's what I love about you. It's like you are like, there's a word that I think Liverpool is quite renowned for. If you're within the village mentality, it's gatekeeping. You are not a gatekeeper. Like, you want to make sure people get their opportunities and give opportunities to people. That's what I think is fabulous about you. So it's nice that that's what's happened. Like, I've had this experience now. How do I get you into this if you're good enough to do it?
Yeah, and how do I help and enable them to not have the pitfalls that I've had to do by myself?
Yeah.
Because even though I had these mentors and people around me, you are still owned by yourself unless someone's there to sort of nurture that and keep an eye out for you. So for me, I feel that that's where my legacy is still at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Giving people opportunity and making sure like the dancers that come from this city are the best.
Yeah. and not just that, but I've the system that is set up in my life in general is perfect for that. I'd be a fool and ignorant not to be able to do that for people.
Yeah.
I work at Lipper, which is an incredible institute. I've taught Northern Ballet School for many years. I taught Northern Contemporary, went back there as a teacher. So I've got the access to these beautiful artists who just want an opportunity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. What I love about that is then you've then made your own platforms to do that. So it's not necessarily just being connections and like, teaching to get somewhere. It's like you've made a platform yourself. And I think that's in the sense of like Liverpool's Vogue Ball, which then you have also moved around. So there's been Manchester, there's been Leeds,
we've done one in London.
We've done one in London. There's one in, I want to say Bristol, not Bristol. B to B. We've done one in Birmingham. I don't know why I went with Birmingham first, I went with Bristol. But so just tell me a little bit more about that, because obviously I think it's interesting that, you know, you started with Vogue, then you evolved into the wider dance vocabulary, shall we say, and then you've brought it back to, you know, Vogue, and obviously what your Vogue Ball is, because I think it's quite important to make that note that the House of Suarez Vogue Ball is a celebration of Vogue as opposed to
The ballroom.
Yeah.
It's quite an easy aspect to pull together now as I'm older. So obviously I started with Vogue and that inspired me, and then it enabled me to actually be able to pursue other careers and other styles and train professionally. And then by that point I was 30, so I was working with companies and stuff like that, and my body was like of a 30-year-old. So I'm thinking, what do I want to do now? Do I want to just go to a company and break my bones and be under a contract and get 450 quid a week and then be like, yeah, I'm with that company, but I can't walk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Live on ibuprofen for the rest of my life. So that was where my mindset was. And I was like, no, I actually want to start exploring my journey and my life. So my life was voguing, contemporary, commercial, hip hop, classical. That's all me. So in 2006, I decided to explore an opportunity where I would get a studio space and create some work that I was going to call Liverpool is Burning.
Yeah.
It's a parody of Paris is Burning,
which is an amazing documentary. I haven't watched it. Go do your gay. I want to say gay education, like gay education. Then that didn't quite work. You knew what I was trying to do.
Your
there.
ball culture education.
Yeah, do your education.
So, where was I? Oh yeah,
Liverpool is Burning.
We did Liverpool is Burning, and Liverpool is Burning was a parody of my childhood being on the gay scene. So there was Vogue and there was battles, but in comedy. There was drag queens. It was just a tongue-in-cheek theatre piece, but built up of contemporary dance. And I got two amazing dancers from Manchester who were my first daughters, which is Darren Pritchard and Stuart Bowden. Back in 2006, we got a little pocket money from Homotopia.
Yep.
And then with that, I was able to pay 3 dancers, get some free rehearsal space, and that was it. Wow. And literally, we done an R&D in the studio, and in a week I only done 3 minutes material because I end up exploring everything. So we explored historical Vogue moves, then bastardized them and flipped them around, done this and put it onto contemporary. But we just explored everything.
Yeah.
So when it came down to the actual show, it was like, right, this is going to be blagged to death. But we had a core section which I developed, and then I done solos. We had the duet stuff. I brought some queens in. Siam was one of them.
Yeah.
So we had queens, Courtesan. Everyone was the queens around that time. They just wanted a bit of a giggle, and we just runwayed and like took over the theatre. And it was being an R&D. It was 100-seater, so we were expecting about 30 people to turn up, and 180 people turned up.
Wow.
So what we did was we basically had to turn away people. And with that hype, or people just loved it, wanted more. And also, I think what was really keen back then is in 2006, Vogue had gone back underground. It wasn't so cool to do in the country anymore, and no one was fusing it with other styles and genres. So for me, I wasn't just doing it because no one else was doing it. I was manifesting where I wanted to become a hybrid in that world. And in 2007, we got a lot more money. And we created an extension of Liverpool is Burning. And then Homotopia said, well, what would you like to do? We've got this pot of money and we'd like to do a 9-to-5 disco. And I said, I'd love to do a Vogue Ball.
9-to-5 disco? Nah.
Well, so a Vogue Ball. I was like, well, what's a Vogue Ball? And I was like, that's the problem here, because I'm going to have to demystify what ballroom is, what the Vogue Ball is, and what voguing is. So with partners with Homotopia and Ducky from London, we put on the first grand Liverpool is Burning Grand Vogue Ball.
Yes, in the Adelphi Hotel.
And we had Jennifer John do an a cappella version of Deeper Love, and I came out and did a solo. It was great. It was lovely. It was lovely to have something on my bucket list, and I was like getting supported with to be able to produce and direct that.
And there is content on YouTube. Like if you do search like Liverpool Grand Vogue Ball, you will find, and it's black and white, which just adds another element to it.
Yeah. That's Sandy's footage, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that happened, and then Ducky only wanted to put his foot, get his toe wet, and then leave. And then Homotopia and I just sort of went different directions. And then in 2010, I literally was like, right, I need to do this again.
Yeah.
And I was shitting myself. I had no money. I was like,
how do I do this?
How do I do this? My friend owned Cream. Can I hire your space, please? I spoke to created a few groups called Houses. And then they did it. And we had 200 people there. And
so the first one was in Cream?
Yeah.
Wow.
The old building. We smashed out the park. And then what happened was, because it was something that I wanted, as soon as I got it over the years, I started to get out my system. So I wasn't really interested in dressing up, or I wasn't interested in being performing anymore. Everything that I was yearning to do was already out there and released. Which is really, I think it's really important and key to do everything that you want to do before you want to help others.
Because then you've done it and you can give that experience back.
Well, it's not so much that, because you can do that while you're still living your own dream. But I just feel that it's really, I'm trying to think how to say it. You're an empty vessel then. You've emptied out. So literally what you're just now holding on to the knowledge and everything that you can give, and not feel like, oh, I want to do that now.
Yes,
so you're not compromising their development for your still your own.
Yes, I get you.
Performance or whatever it is in life. That's only my outlook on it. It's probably different for people, but so as the years went on, obviously the Vogue Ball grew massively. Then in 2016, Vogue started to become popular around the world, around Europe, in London, it's the ballroom scene.
Is that when that program came on, or was that a bit later? Oh, the one that was on Sky in America. What was it called? It was basically like a Vogue.
Or Pose?
No, not Pose. It was like real, and it was like New York houses, and it was like a competition, and it was judged, but it was on telly. Oh, what's it called? It's gonna annoy me.
It was on Bravo.
Potentially, no, because I couldn't see it. I couldn't watch it. I think it was maybe on Sky Atlantic or something. I think you were invited.
Legendary.
That's the one.
So we got Bravo. It was Bravo.
Oh, was it Bravo?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Bravo contacted us and asked us if we would be interested in representing the UK as a Vogue house. And
so was this around that time?
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, a bit later. And at first I was like, this sounds great. It sounds really cool. But then one thing I had to be very clear about, and this is how, especially when it came to lockdown, I could talk here forever about everything because I've done there's been so many dramas. But when lockdown happened and everyone became a keyboard warrior, people just wanted to gun anyone down that was doing something that they just didn't like, or they didn't associate to, or that didn't understand. So because we were doing the Vogue Ball, but we weren't part of a ballroom community, we were getting slammed. And instead of taking it personally, I turned to a couple of people that I know, and I was like, what's going on here? They were like, well, what's on the tin? What is it that you are? And I was like, well, I'm a dance theatre company. We know what you are. So I was like, oh, I have to digest and break down who I am. So all we are is a dance theatre company that is inspired by a voguer that learned Vogue in the city where there was no ballroom. There was no ballroom back there. He got inspired to develop his style into dance theatre and then into a ball. So we put that on the tin. So when you've looked for us, and it calmed down and stuff like that. But with Legendary, I made this very known. It was like, we are not ballroom. We celebrate the culture. And they literally turned around to me and went, but what you're doing is exactly what we want. Because no one was doing choreography with Vogue. No one was doing big costumes, performances, productions with Vogue when we were doing it. No one was doing any fusion of ballet on point with Vogue. And so they loved that we'd had such a catalogue of work over the years, and went, this is exactly, we give you a budget for this. So I was like, okay, well, as long as I've been transparent about that, you know what I mean? Yeah. So all together, my vixens, a couple of Voguers over in Holland as well, and stuff like that. And then they started getting interviewed, and all they wanted were the sob stories.
Okay.
And
Overproduced.
yeah, so a couple of my dancers turned around and said, Darren, we love you. We love being part of House of Suarez. They're asking us personal questions about our families.
That's not what we're here for.
And I said, well, that's not what you're here for. So I just turned around and said, we're pulling out. And they tried to get us back and everything else, but no. it's not, because I'm going against my respect to my artists.
And especially what you've just gone through in terms of the stories you just told.
And the mission statement that I actually stand by is to make sure that I'm protecting people.
Yeah.
Not exploiting them just so the House of Suarez name gets over it.
And I think it's also a testament that this might sound a bit cynical, but you've not needed it. Like, you as I don't want to label you as a brand, but like House of Suarez.
The company is a brand.
Yeah.
It's evolved into, what you get with it. So but anyone who knows us knows it's more than that. Do you know what I mean?
And then you as an extension of that, because let's be honest, House of Suarez is you, and then what you put into it via the dancers who are involved. Like, I think if you're in the cultural world of Liverpool, if you don't know Darren Suarez or the House of Suarez, and you're living under a rock, because you've been involved in so many different things in the city to the point where it's now you have done loads outside of the city as House of Suarez,
right?
Doing bits and bobs. Mm-hmm. So it's like, how is that for you? Because I'm conscious that we could talk for hours on end. It's the joys of being friends. From those lovely bearings of, you saw it in the club, you were doing it on the cathedral. I don't know, want to know what you were doing it on in the cathedral grounds.
No, actually, do you know it's a fake? There's no bodies under there. They're just references.
Oh, okay.
Reference graves. Yeah. Because I had to do we did our research
before you went and danced.
Well, no, I did a piece called "Dancing with the Dead."
Okay.
I got commissioned it. Yeah, and it was talking about drug abuse actually. But anyway, that's a different story. We can
we could just go on.
Yeah.
How is that for you, having that development and evolution? Like, you're looking back and looking at what you're doing now. Like, how does that make you feel? And
do you know what? Over the past couple of years, I've had to reinvent myself with my parents and stuff. So looking at, I've stopped and breathe now. So I actually look and reflect and give myself a pat on the back when I feel that I'm like, actually, I'm doing something right. And I've got enough people around me to tell me when I'm doing it wrong. and who feel comfortable to go, Darren, you're a dick. What the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? So
enjoy the fact that I'm one of them.
Yeah. Well, I surround myself with good counsel, and I think that's the way to move forward in any kind of plateau of work or friendship. Do you know what I mean? It's lovely to watch, and I sometimes forget what I've done. But what's really sweet is that I get reminded, because every now and again I'll get a message from someone from 4 or 5 or 10 years ago. It goes, oh my God, I've just realized that this reminds me of you, and
Oh, that's nice.
Do you know what I mean? Or someone who's currently in my house will bump into someone in another country going, oh, I'm with House of Suarez. Oh my God, I danced with them. That's
lovely.
So it's mutated into something beautiful for me. Do you know what I mean? And all I'm going to do is continue what I'm doing. I can't imagine myself doing anything else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously the ball it's 20 years next year, but it's the satellite of all the work that we generate. So people who have any kind of questions about who they are and what kind of audience we entertain, we get, that's how we generate more work.
Yeah.
So obviously we work closely locally now. We've worked, it's going into our 3rd year next year with Knowsley Pride. We've just opened Sephora's flagship shop in Liverpool, which was great fun.
Yeah.
And I've got a fantastic working relationship with Lipper as well. So because I can access some of our beautiful dancers here, now Lipper recognise that as well. So I get supported in that way. So for me, I feel like I've created a nice little tiny microscopic ecosystem.
You have?
Where it feels like that we're all benefiting.
Yeah. And I do love about the Lipper side of things is if you do attend House of Suarez Vogue Ball in Liverpool, which when this goes out is next week, so get tickets, is Lipper go mad. Lipper students go mad for it. It's insane. But I think that energy is what people gravitate towards.
Well, it's a rite of passage. And what's really funny, which you don't even see, is like when we do interviews for Lipper to get in, or after the first year when they're in, when I've done like LGTs, which is learning guidance conversations with some of the students that were appointed, they go, all I want to do is the Vogue Ball. And you can only audition in 2nd year when you're a 3rd year. So it's like a privilege, it's a rite of passage. And we can only take 10. But everyone just goes mental. It's like, we need to do the Vogue Ball. Do you know what I
It's
mean?
amazing. I love
So
that.
I think what's really important, which I've realized, is that I don't like management anyway. I think we spoke about that before.
Mhm.
But I don't macromanage the event, the ball. It's run by the youth. Do you know what I mean? And that's why the youth are still excited, wanting to get involved in it.
Yeah.
And what's really also very nice, which I don't see in most cities even to today, is that the cross-pollination of participants from age groups
Yeah.
to how they identify, all living their favorite moments backstage and front of house. It's incredible. You've seen it yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, I think when everyone comes together, I think when I did that little short documentary for the Sugar Ball in 2015 and spoke to the different people, that's what people said. Like, backstage, everyone is trying to support each other from different houses, from whatever, because we all know why we're there. Then you get on that runway, it's like, we're going to turn it, but I'll help you up the stairs. Once you get on it, you can fall over, I don't care.
Yes,
but
right.
I'll help you get onto the runway.
And that's what's really nice, because like a lot of houses, a lot of people that do voguing in the city of Liverpool and Manchester were born at the ball.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they've done the ball, they've come from it. And like, houses are doing their own stuff now. And the ball is not just, you don't have to do it every year. It's a transient event. You could just be a one-off. It could be, we get our veteran houses that want to do it every year because they look at it as, it's on their cultural calendar.
Yeah, it's like, that's blocked
For
off.
example, House of Laporta.
Yes. Yeah, Josh loves it.
He lives for it, do you know what I mean? And his daughters live for it as well, do you know what I mean? And he's turned his concept into, well, we'll work on the ball, but we can dissect down, we've got extra performance. Do you know what I mean? So he makes sure that he utilizes that throughout the year as well. I'm super proud of Josh, you know what I mean? But I'm super proud of a lot of the houses, just using Josh as an example.
Yeah, before there's any bitchiness in the comments.
No.
And what does I am conscious of that now. What is like the immediate future have for House of Suarez in your mind, if you wanted to put it into words?
Okay, so in the next 3 years, obviously the Vogue Ball is doing itself. We've got a 20th anniversary next year. I want to start focusing on another event, city event. I'm also in talks of a club night.
Exciting.
Which it's going to be twice a year, probably around about Boxing Night and also Liverpool Pride evening as well. So it'll be something that it's on my bucket list. So I'm just doing stuff. But also, I don't want to overburden our program because I'd like to keep ideas open. So when I get other commercial gigs, because that's what the kids want as well. So I always try and make sure that there's a floating calendar.
Yeah, just on that, I think when you did Sephora, like the Instagram was Instagramming of all like the dancers sharing their behind the scenes, their friends who were like hadn't got in that very long line outside Sephora, but come just to see them.
Well, we did the VIP the night before, and we finished at 8:00, and they were queuing up outside.
That's insane.
And I mean, obviously, Sephora were a great brand to work with. They were providing umbrellas, duvets, Greg's, coffees. It was Greg's. Honestly, I actually seen the deck, and it was incredible what they were doing for their customers. So,
but to my point is like everyone got behind everything that the people were doing because they were happy to be involved with a brand as part of House of Suarez.
Yeah.
I think that's what's beautiful. But I think on that, if you want to learn more about you, House of Suarez, etc., where can they go on?
Do you know Instagram is my most active platform?
Yep.
So House of Suarez, all one word.
And there is a website, houseofsuarez.co.uk, which is where you go to get your tickets when you've got events on. Yep. So right now, go get your tickets for the Blockbuster Ball.
Yep.
Get that in there at the end. Thank you so much for joining me. It's nice.
Long overdue.
It's very long overdue.
I feel like you don't love me no more. You're not having me around anymore. It's like, oh, Darren will fit you in whenever. Whatever.
We'll time it specifically.
Whatever. Anyway.
If you want to learn more about the podcast, it's at Proudly Said or proudlysaid.co.uk. Sign up to the front row. Less than £3 a month, early extension, whatever. I
think you meant to the ball then. It's like, it's not £3 for the front row.
No, it's not £3 for the front row. No, the front row is my membership package. Early access for £3 a month. Boom. But no, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Catch us next time. You've been listening to Proudly Said. Now, if it meant something to you, why not pass it on? If it didn't, maybe it will one day. Either way, stay kind, stay loud, and stay proud.